Hi, this is Jared Bro, and welcome to this edition of the Brocast. For the past few weeks, we've been watching the impact of social media as protests evolve and how governments, leaders, and nations are falling left and right. Last year, I had a chance to work in one of the foreign governments nearby where some of these protests are going on. For 2 days, we discussed crisis communications with 12 members of the cabinet, the ministers who run the nation. And it was interesting because I asked all of them, what do you know about Twitter? What do you know about Facebook? Most had never heard of these things, didn't understand what the fuss was all about. I then asked what they understood about YouTube. A few of them had seen videos, but most of them had not. I then pulled up a live YouTube video showing several years earlier when their military was beating a protester right in their own country. The video was captured by a cell phone, posted to YouTube, and more than 1.5 million people had seen it, and not a single member of the government in that room with me was aware of it. The class was social media when it hits the fan, and it was an eye-opening experience for them. But here's the takeaway for you. Just as many of those high-ranking government leaders had no idea what social media was and what it could do, the same is likely true where you work. Some leaders may understand a little bit about Facebook, but they really don't get the full impact. And many communicators use these tools all the time, but I don't think many communicators fully understand the negative effect and the negative impact that social media can have on you when you're trying to communicate during a crisis. Your focus is talking to the media, talking to your employees, and also trying to manage social media. But the ugly things being said, the protests that are rising, the mob mentality that takes place in the outside world is difficult for you to handle. A couple of things that I will offer to you as resources, some free, some that you can pay for. Number one, free on the newsletter this month, a great article on leadership when it hits the fan. We discuss what leaders need to understand about social media in a crisis. Because trust me, if the leader is over 30 years old, there's a lot they don't know. I talk to these people all the time at conferences where I do keynotes. Most of them really don't understand YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook at all. So you've got your work cut out for you as far as education goes. Another resource that's important is for everyone to understand how to write a good social media policy. On March 1st, I'm going to do a teleseminar that combines two topics. On one hand, how to write a social media policy that fits your needs at your specific company, as well as how to deal with social media in a crisis. That teleseminar is going to be $79, and I think it will be well worth your time. If you have additional questions, you can always pick up the phone and call me. For Brocasting, this is Jared Bro.